So we're gonna look at two types of men, two types of women. And this is very important, especially when we don't teach our young ones about relationship. We don't teach them about the world outside. And it's even worse when parents shadow their children, meaning they try to protect them from relationships, protect them from the, especially like the girls, that they'll protect the girls from the boys in that surrounding area, but they do not protect them from the world outside. So what happens is by the time they get to 18 years, they just push them out there to deal with the world, and they have no knowledge as to what they're going to face. So what, they're just going to be making mistakes, and that's it. And then sometimes they end up resenting the parents because you were covering them, you were protecting them, but it was never a real protection, because you're trying to protect someone by getting them, preventing a certain situation, rather than giving them the knowledge to combat those situations when they face them, because they will face them when they get out there. All right. So here we have, um, a type of woman who is selling, but she does not know that she's selling her body. How does this work? All right. You have some women that, like I said, these ones are sometimes innocent to the game. They just know that, okay, they should get things from a man, so they're having sex, but guess what? They're not gonna always say directly, okay, after the sex happens, okay, give me this or give me that. But sometimes what they do is they tell you, in a way, like they'll tell you their problem and hope that you will have conscience and give them something. Now these are the women who are always losing, because each time they have sex, in their minds it is a relationship, and then the concept they have of relationship is that I lay with you, you're supposed to do this. So it's like the man is obligated, when there was never a relationship, apart from that ideology that she has in her head, that her parents did not teach her otherwise. So they always fall prey to this thing. They're selling their bodies, but they do not know. Right? Now, once I was talking to this woman some years ago, and after everything, finished, and we got back in touch, and I was talking to her, and she was just naming her price, and I said, "Oh, you're selling now?" And she said, "No." I said, "Then who are you giving me all of these prices and so forth?" And I said, "Okay, since you're selling, then I'm going to hook you up with someone that," and then she got mad, like, "You're just naming your price, now I'm putting you in that," because you know what happens, they don't want to accept that they're actually selling. So this is why they do things away, so to not deal with the reality that, hey, I'm selling my body. Because what they want to do is, they want to paint that image that the women that you see on the corners of the street wearing those short things, they are the only prostitutes, they are the only ones that are whores. So if they start to accept the reality, then they will also see that there are no difference with them and the women that we pass on the street corners. It is the same things, right? It's just like you have people who are mad. You'll have some that you'll find in the streets eating out of garbage bin, but then you'll have some that are liars, doctors, nurses, teachers, and these nobles of societies, your pastors, your priests, your president, whoever it is. They are, mad, but just they don't carry the same appearance as the ones on the street. So it's the same thing, right? Now, if a lot of women should accept this reality, and watching this video, right, hearing this, a lot of you know that you had some of these experience before. Now it's not bad, because what, maybe you were ignorant that you were really doing that but did not know, right? So in your ignorance, you might find some grace, right? No, also, dealing with the men, there are some men that are buying, but they don't know that they're buying. What? Okay, how this works, you get in a relationship with a woman, but guess what, you only see her in the week that you get paid. You're not doing anything together in the home. There's no establishment of a home. You're not doing chores together, building anything together. There's no vision. There's no project going on. It's just when you get paid, she comes by, or in the during the week or so forth, she'll call you, ask you for to top up her phone and so forth, but you don't get to see her, right? So you only see her when you are paid. So you're buying, but you do not know that you're buying. You just think, oh, I'm in a relationship. Oh, I'm giving my girl some money when I get paid. No, no. You are buying, but you do not know, right? So you have women who do it. You have men on the contrary hand who do the opposite, basically. No, the women who are winning are these women, the ones that are selling, but they are conscious that they're selling it, and they win in so many ways apart above this person up here. Why? Because she's selling and she knows that she's selling. So as soon as she's gonna get into the bed with that person, the money has to be there presented, and she collects her money. Then she do her job. She knows what she's doing, right? No, a man buying and knows that he's buying. Guess what? Big advantage here. No attachments. So when the woman finishes, she collects her money and she goes. She's not relying on the man for anything more unless there's another service that needs to be done. A man that is buying and knows he's buying is the same thing. He meets a woman, he do whatever, he lays with her. Because I'm not talking now about women on the corners selling their bodies that you know are definitely whores. I'm talking about normal people in society who are doing these things, who don't project themselves as prostitutes or whores or whoremongers, but they're carrying out the same function. Whether you're on the street corner doing it, in the club doing it, or in your job doing it, wherever you are, the function is the same. And this is what I like about the Hebrew, because in English you can put whatever terminology you want to put on it. You can call it a relationship, you can call it whatever you want. The function is the same, whether you are aware or you're not aware. No, the man is buying, there's no attachment there. As soon as the service is finished, he pays and he goes on. They don't need to speak again unless. Same thing for the woman, no attachment, so she does not feel broken. Now what happened up here is that there's an attachment, because the woman who does this, she hopes that the man would have some form of conscience and give her something. She's not going to ask directly, because she doesn't want to make it appear that as if she's doing some form of prostitution. So she's going to leave him to his conscience and hope that the guy will leave. No, for this will leave some money or something, whatever it is. No, the thing with this person here, because he's conscious, he knows that once he gives her something, there's no need for her to call him anymore and do anything, right? He doesn't feel as if he owes her anything, right? No, what happened is sometimes this type of woman will meet these type of men, right? No, this is where they get played, because no money was discussed, nothing was discussed. However, he knows her intentions, even if she does not know. So because he knows the intention and they did not make an agreement, and she would be too shameful to ask for it, because it's going to appear as if she's selling, which is what she's actually doing, then she will not mention anything. So this person will always win. Now this one will end up feeling stupid, feeling as if she was used, or then she start to what? Curse men. Men are dogs, men are this, because you keep doing the same thing and not realizing the failure is on your end, because you were not educated about what the real world is like out there, right? You were shadowed from your parents, you were locked off your years of schooling, right? They did not teach you anything about the real world. They just push you out there, go and face it. Now all these things are happening to you. So by the time you get to a certain age, guess what? You cannot have a functional relationship anymore, because you don't have a fixed concept of men. Not because of just men, but because you did not know what you were doing and you just faced the beast, right? So now you're mentally destroyed. So when you meet a good person, a good man who has good intention towards you, guess what? You cannot have a functional relationship because you are too mentally destroyed after being used over and over, right? No, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Actually, it's the same thing for men. Hold on, let me get this. It's the same thing for some men, right? They go out there and they'll meet these type of women. These type of women, they're manipulative. They're conscious of it. So guess what? They will get everything out of you while you're thinking that, oh, you have a good woman. She will give that image and she will get everything out your pocket, right? And then when you come across a good woman who has good intention towards you, guess what? You cannot create a functional relationship with this person because your parents never taught you proper moral and standards and principles. So you just went out there and deal with whatever type of people. Now you get messed up in the head, forming a fixed concept about women, right? You form a fixed concept. So now you see all women the same. You started seeing women through the eyes of slavery, just as women see men through the eyes of slavery, right? Just by being destroyed because of the lack of knowledge that we should have gotten from our parents, right? So it's very important to be aware of this. If you've been a victim, if you've been into these situations, it's now for you to be aware and see what you can do, how you can, you know, make use of the knowledge to further prevent these things, and also to make sure you teach your children from a young age about sex, about relationships, about love, and so forth, right? Pulling them away is not a proper form of preventing something. If you want to prevent it, you give them the knowledge so when the experience comes, they know how to deal with it. Absent knowledge, what are they going to do? They're just going to go into something that they have no knowledge of, right? So it's good for, when they're younger, you expose them to intimacy, right? Say for example, your daughter, of this family has a nice son and they grow up together, the family, everything about the family, not right, you guys can allow them to be intimate. It doesn't have to be sex, but do things together. So guess what? They don't go up with this urgent desire to get crazy as soon as they get to 18. No, they cannot wait until they're 18 to do stuff that they have no knowledge of. But when they have been exposed to going out, to having dinner with the family and so forth, have these nice talks and everything, guess what? They have their desires or their urges more under control, and they have the knowledge. You have to teach them about, protection, teach them about pregnancy, teach them about all these things, and that's how we help our young women and young men. Shalom.